Hi everyone and welcome back to the Astronomy Guide. This is the first episode of What's in the Sky this month. This month is for March 2026, and in this episode I will give you 5 really good tips on what to see in the night sky for this month. But hang on to the end of this video because there I will give you some special tips on what to see. And for you that has seen my other videos, I have mentioned that I'm very much into observing the planets. So I hope you can guess what will be the most highlighted topic in this first episode of What's in the Sky this month. So come with me and let's see what we can see out in the night sky for March 2026. The first object that I want to mention is the moon, the brightest object in the night sky, and obvious we can see it with the naked eye. We don't need any telescope or binoculars to see it's good. But when you align your telescope against the moon and start observing, you will see amazing things that you haven't seen before if you haven't used a telescope or binocular. The moon is a really good object to start with. It's easy to find in the night sky, very bright object, and especially if you are new into astronomy and maybe you have bought your first telescope, this is a really good object. And as I said, easy to find and can be a very good target if you will really see if your alignment that I have talked about earlier in the beginner's tips for you as a new into astronomy or bought your first telescope. Now you can try out and see if your alignment of your finder scope and your telescope has successfully been done. So tips number 1 is the moon. Don't miss it. Of course, there is a lot of opportunities during the year observing the moon, but it's a good object to start out in March. So the second tip from my side is Jupiter. Jupiter stands out as one of the brightest objects in the sky. It stands out brighter than the most stars. So it's easy to find. Again, if you want to really see your alignment of your finder scope and your telescope is successful, Jupiter is a really good planet to look at. This will give you a really good feeling about how you can look at the planets. So if you're looking for one planet to look at in March, let it be Jupiter. And the third tip from my side is Venus. Venus is another really bright object in the sky, a really bright planet. Often mistaken to be an airplane or something like that because of its brightness. It's visible low in the western sky after sunset. So start there and look if you can see Venus. It's a brilliant evening star to look at. So don't miss this planet. March month is full of good observation of the planets. And if we go back to February month that we are in now, when I record this video, the 28th of March, we will actually have an alignment of several planets. And I think that you have seen this on the internet. It's everywhere in social media that there is some planets that will be aligned. So yes, now the time of the year to look at the planets. The fourth tips from my side is also another planet again. It's Saturn. Saturn is best seen shortly after sunset, and it appears near Venus early in the month, and this makes it a little bit easier to find it in the sky. It's a little bit dimmer than Jupiter and Venus, but still visible without a telescope. So you can just imagine when you look through your telescope up to certain what you can see. Do some research before, because now we are getting into a little bit harder objects to find in the night sky. So again, one of my videos was about beginner's tips if you're new into astronomy. So do some research before, look into some planetary software and plan your observing session. But let this month be very much about the planets. They are amazing to look at, especially if you ask me. So now I have mentioned four of my tips, and let's come to the last one, the fifth one. Uh, I promised bonus tips in the end, and I promised to give you that. But first, the fifth object is Mars. Mars is also a really good planet to look at. Appears faint in the sky, but it is detectable. Visible on certain dates, so again, use some type of help, astronomy software, planetary softwares, so you have chosen a really good date to have a good view for this planet. But again, it appears faint, slightly reddish in the sky, sometimes hard to see because it's close to the sun's direction, and this makes it a little bit harder. And now I have mentioned these five objects in the order that I think is the easiest one. It was the moon, and the hardest one is March. This is for March month 2026. But this is the ranking that I do. Which one is the easiest one? Which one is the hardest one? So now I have give you five good tips of what to see in the sky for March. Let's give you some extra tips before we mention the last thing. Mercury, another planet. This one is harder to spot, but it's definitely doable. So go out, see if you can see Mercury as well. Uranus and Neptune, they are really hard to spot, I would say. Now you need a binocular or a telescope, but why don't challenge yourself? Let's go out and see if you can see those as well. But now we have come up to the last tips from my side, the bonus tips that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and it's actually aurora and northern lights. Especially if you are in the northern part of Europe, then there is a good chance to see the northern lights. There is a lot of geomagnetic activities going on at the moment. Now you don't need your telescope or a binocular. You can see the northern lights with your naked eye. But use your camera on your phone or a digital camera, and the colors will appear much brighter and much more visible, and you can take spectacular photos of this phenomenon. So okay, let's wrap up this video. I have mentioned these five tips from my side, and now you have the bonus tips as well, and as well the challenge with the Mercury and the two other planets. So challenge yourself, comment below what you have been able to see out in the night sky. So good luck, and let's see what I will present for what's in the month for April coming up next. Okay, take care, thank you so much, bye.